Haha. Hey, what is going on, crypto people? What? Holy moly, what's going on with the market right now, fam? Very, very interesting. We got some green numbers going on. We'll get into that. Listen, the automated market maker Q&A yesterday that took place, really, really good stuff. I'm going to share one or two clips from that recording. David Schwartz was there. We had some people from Ripple X. It was, I guess it was started in this space was started by a vet, an XRPL developer. I believe he started this Twitter space, but it's really, really good. David really had some good stuff to say. We're going to go over that as well. Look, the more and more we look into what is going on and with the XRP recent decision, the SEC dropping the case against Brad and Chris, we discover some more stuff. Stuart Alarady's in the news because he's speaking about MICA. To hear about, the Ripple is the only crypto company be involved over there is very, very fascinating. Very, very fascinating. That's the EU's kind of UK EU's regulation, right? MICA. Ripple being the only crypto company involved or invited is fascinating to me. Fred Respo is all over Crypto X this morning. We're going to share some stuff. Tony from Thinking Crypto had a good interview with him. I'm going to share that as well. We got one or two clips from Brad Garlinghouse and the medical event or webinar that they had as well, the custody solution that Ripple acquired. We'll get into a little bit of that as well. Forgive me, I do have just got the allergies going on just a little bit. Linda P is speaking some truth bombs about the position that Ripple is in this new remedies phase of this case now that the two parties have agreed to dismiss the charges against Brad and Chris. We'll go over that as well. Interesting stuff. So again, listen, guys, this is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. Let's go with the market real quick. According to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is at 1.17 trillion. What? Let me refresh that. That Bitcoin dominance is way up there. Yep. 1.17 trillion for the total cryptocurrency market cap. The Bitcoin dominance is at 49.7%. It's creeping out. I said it's slowly creeping up. It was just 49.2 and 49.4%. Slowly creeping up. The Bitcoin dominance speaks a lot to when we will have an alt season. Bitcoin is trading at $29,883. It's up 11% on the 7-day. Ethereum is trading at $1,622. And XRP is at 52 cents. You can see you can see a lot of double-figure green 7-day numbers. Solana up 30-something% on the 7 days. Interesting. Chainlink's up 22% on the 7-day. So these are interesting numbers. We'll see. Again, I'm still of the opinion that this is just sideways movement. 59% for Bitcoin Satoshi Vision on the 7-day. But remember, this overall total cryptocurrency market cap is down from over 3 trillion. In other words, it's down close to 2 trillion. So these numbers, you could, unless you're a professional swing trader in the space, the money's just not there. Let's take a listen to a couple of questions that the community had for David Schwartz and some of the people from the Ripple X team.
Since I think it was around Apex actually, when I was at lunch and I saw that new Ripple D version 1.12.0 was dropped, and this Ripple D version has the automated market maker amendment in it. And since then, we have seen a lot of discussions around it, a lot of, I would say concerns, and also a lot of suggestions and just curiosity how it actually works. For many, it's the first. So this space is really targeted to talk about what the community has questions for and clarify also everything that is around the automated market maker, in this sense, the XR30 amendment for the XRP ledger. And I want to start actually with you, David. I want you to give us an introduction what the automated market maker is and why XR30 is so different than normal automated market makers to get a good start.
Well, the automated market maker is, I mean, exactly what its name suggests. It's a market maker that is, well, a market maker is an entity that is willing to both buy and sell some asset or trade, either asset A for asset B or asset B for asset A. And the idea is very basic. Like when you want to buy a stock, you want to buy a stock when you want to buy it. You don't want to wait for somebody else to come along and sell it to you. So there are people, sometimes specifically chosen, sometimes just happen to be there, who are waiting to both buy and sell a stock at any time. So you can come by and sell it whenever you want to. Those are market makers. This market maker is automated, which means it's built into the XRP ledger. So if there's an automated market maker between two assets, say XRP and some USD asset, that automated market maker will both buy and sell XRP at any time to anybody who wants to sell or buy XRP. The other cool thing about it is it's a ledger function that users can participate in. So if you have XRP or USD, you can XRP or USD to the market maker to trade with. And in exchange, you sort of own shares. It's effectively like owning a portion of the sort of the AMM's assets. And you get tokens that represent that ownership, which you can then hold or trade. So it boosts the liquidity on the ledger, and it sort of boosts the utility. But the thing that's the most exciting to me, and this is personal to me because I've been trading assets for a very long time, it actually harvests volatility. It makes a profit when it trades, and volatility drives people to trade. If you look at like the volume in the trade of digital assets, price drives volume, but also volatility drives volume. When there's volatility, when the price goes up, there's people who want to buy and sell because it's a different price. And so that prompts them to act. There's a lot of volatility in digital assets. So there's a lot of opportunity to make revenue from people trading based on the volatility. There's a couple of things that are unique about this AMM. So there's one or two things that are unique about its design. And there's one or two things that are unique about it that just happen automatically, sort of as a free bonus from the fact that it's on the XRP ledger, which has advantages. So the specific things built into this design is it has the continuous auction mechanism to take some of the profit that arbitrageurs would get and give that to the liquidity providers. So the hope is this will provide an unusually good deal for the liquidity providers. I hear my granddaughter yelling in the background. And the other thing is because it's on the XRP ledger is very fast, a couple of seconds per ledger and very cheap. And those things produce advantages in the function of an AMM. If it's very expensive to trade with the AMM, then people are going to be reluctant to trade because if it costs you $10 to make a trade, you're not going to make a trade that makes you $9. And so the AMM loses opportunities because of transaction fees. Similarly, if you have to submit a transaction and it might be a couple of minutes before it executes and the price might change against you, you'll be more hesitant to trade and the AMM will lose opportunities due to those latencies. Because the XRP ledger is so fast and cheap, we expect that the AMMs will have much more opportunities to trade. And I'm super excited to see if all of these things actually, I'm excited to see the actual practice prove that these things are right. Because obviously, it's one thing to see things in theory, and it's another thing to see them actually happen. So I'm very excited to see reality prove out all of these sort of theoretical benefits.
Yes, thank you, David. And I really appreciate you explained the term volatility harvesting, because when you...
Yeah, so this guy, VET, I would encourage you guys to go check out. Go find him on X, is at VET, like VeChain, capital V, little e, little t, _X and 0. Get on his spaces. He's a validator, DUNL validator. He's a co-founder. I didn't know he's the co-founder of XRP Cafe. I did not know that. So check out the spaces, David. And again, other people, it's not just David, but it's other people, some people from Ripple X answering some questions about the AMM. So if you want to know that, it's going to be hugely important to kind of level up here and get the mind around it. It's interesting that the validators have some questions and concerns, which for me lets me know, right? There are validators, there are developers, there's retail investors, right? There's different categories of groups. Knowledges are different. What they know, what they don't know is different. So it's important to understand that. And I think it's also important to not just give a blessing or sign off, or as we like to say, co-sign with someone that when they say something just because they're a validator, or just because they're a dev, or just because it's David Schwartz, right? Got to make sure that you come to your own conclusion based upon the information that you can get yourself. So go check out that Twitter Spaces. Is recorded. Go check it out for sure and level up. And I think this is interesting to me. This is Stuart Alirati, right? Ripple Labs, Stuart Alirati on preparing for MICA. Again, the only crypto company with the invite, I guess, to get to this thing. Check it out.
The Bank of Brazil to do business there. Also established an office in Ireland last year. We have applications pending with the Central Bank of Ireland, both for a virtual asset service provider license and an e-money license. We'll work with the regulator and hopefully satisfy them that we are equipped from a regulatory and a compliance standpoint to operate under their supervision. And hopefully once we get that license, we'll be able to use that not only to operate in Ireland, but to passport that through the EU. We're doing the same in the UK. I think it was a few weeks ago, we received our major payments institution license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore. We're hopeful we'll get clearance in Dubai before the end of the year. We have an agreement with the Central Bank of Brazil to do business there. We operate under a regulatory supervision through a joint venture in Japan. So this is the direction of travel for the industry.
Interesting. This is the direction of travel for the industry preparing for MICA. So this is really, really cool. Ripple is doing some stuff and they're just ahead of the games and understanding where this space is going. You know, this whole idea of preparing for MICA's event is significant, right? This is from ISO 20022. This is that the at Rohitku guy sharing some more stuff. Ripple is the only company to meet and discuss crypto regulations with MICA. Ripple, only crypto company. They met in 8/2 of 2022. Markets and crypto assets. So hugely, hugely important markets in crypto assets. Ripple is the company that's being invited to help provide some clarity, help provide some guidance, right? It's significant. And also, like XRP MICA points out, XRP is the only asset in the US with clarity. He says, do you see what's coming? Let me see if I want to share Fred Rispoli here. Yeah, I'll share it here. Look, you know, Rand Nunez could say what he said. I said what I said about the dude in my last video. He can say what he wants to say. Tony from Thinking Crypto called him out on X as well. September of 2025. We're still in 2023. We're still in 2023. Without a trial, we're talking September of 2025. If we had the trial, it would be even longer. So I don't know what Rand is saying. But anyway, XRP Drop said this. Attorney Fred Rispoli, appeal result timeline. He shares what he believes the timeline for the SEC versus Ripple. Without a trial, September of 2025. With the trial, September of 2026. The SEC could lose $770 million if Ripple wins an appeal. This will also be one of the main reasons why Attorney Fred Rispoli assumes that a settlement will take place. Take a listen to this.
And we're not going to get an appellate result until September of 2025. I would have said 26 if we were doing the trial. September of 25, that we're not doing the trial. So it's out there, but I mean, think about everything that could happen. And what I'm saying right now with the SEC is they're sitting fat on 770 million right now that they could completely lose and could evaporate into nothing if Ripple, wins on appeal. So there's more for the SEC to lose than Ripple to lose where we are in the case. And
I agree 1000%. They took the gamble, the SEC gamble, and they lost. This is something that I think is interesting from Linda P. Jones. She says, I agree. However, I think Ripple has a royal flush, meaning they aren't negotiating and can literally name their terms. Due to the exposure of the Hinman emails, the SEC has zero bargaining power. Ripple can 100% name their terms in the settlement. It's without question. And to me, the second the SEC lawyers and attorneys advised to drop this case against Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Lawson, this moment took place where they have put themselves in a position of zero bargaining power. And the only thing they're going to get is a check. There isn't an attorney in heck that doesn't understand the position that Ripple is in and the position that the SEC is now in. Any attorney, only the big time biases who hate the digital asset XRP attorneys or who hate crypto attorneys would suggest otherwise. The SEC they have no bargaining chips whatsoever. They just don't. The only thing they have is they'll be able to, parade around a check and take Judge Torres with a ruling, which essentially says that XRP is the asset that has clarity, not the others. And so if the SEC was smart, they'll take that little check, they'll keep their coffers as high as possible, and so that they can continue to do other enforcement actions. If they try to do anything that's going to drain the coffers, it's going to be a problem for them. Because they still have to deal with the fact that the playbook on how to beat the SEC is out there. How to beat them at their own game, how to prove that your asset is not a security, it's out there. And so they better have some resources if they want to continue down this enforcement action path that they have taken. Take a listen to Brad Garlinghouse say something at the medical event. There's the medical event here. It is on YouTube if you want to check it out. Medical has a YouTube channel. Disrupt or Enable, Materializing the Internet of Value with Brad Garlinghouse. Very, very good talk here. Let me go here. Let me do this. Excuse me. Allergies. Take a listen to here. This is important because he mentions his partnership that we all know it is. And he mentions how they actually came to Ripple about custody besides other stuff. They asked if Ripple could provide custody. Take a listen.
The macro environment around custody digital assets is expected to be close to $10 trillion by the year 2030. And inevitably, people are going to need a place to store those assets and safe, secure, and they're going to need to be able to transfer them as well, having good on and off ramps, even a tokenization engine, some of the work Ripple is doing around central bank digital currencies or CBDCs. So we think there's a lot of pieces that come together, and we already had, and I remember when you and I first spoke, I remember being on a call with one of the largest top 10 banks in the world, and a bank Ripple was already working with, and they were asking us about could we help them with their custody. This is prior to the MICA acquisition, and we weren't in a position to do that. And so when I think about that synergy, the ability to say to that existing Ripple customer, hey, here's a best in class, going head to head, time and time again, and winning on the custody level, to be able to bring that product to them, I think is a great opportunity for the two companies together. So,
yeah, and I think that was Bank of America, top 10 in the world. My guess is already a Ripple partner. My guess is that would have been Bank of America looking for custody solutions from their partner, which was Ripple. Hugely important. Now, Fred Rispoli also had this to say, right? Because Eleanor Terra put this out. Sources close to the SEC tell me that while the charges against Brad and Chris have been dropped, all other parts of the case, including classification of all offers and sales of XRP as an investment scheme, remain on the table. Fred Rispoli said, I 100% believe Ellie's source said this, but keep in mind, JP Morgan sources also told reporters there was no way internal emails being sought by attorneys in the you-know-what case would implicate the bank. The bank later settled for $75 million without producing any emails. Someone asked a question of Fred. In the settlement, couldn't Ripple request that the SEC give up any further action against Ripple or things they have originally brought up? Fred Rispoli says yes, and this is just speaking to what Linda is saying. Ripple is in the driver's seat. Ripple is going to get any and everything. Yeah, they're going to get 90% of what it is that they want, if not 95% of what it is that they want. They know it. Most attorneys know it as well. And Fred says, yes, Ripple would require the settlement language to make sure there is finality and it won't be sued again to a reasonable extent. For example, the SEC would never agree to terms, nor would Ripple seek them. That could include Ripple going full Elron as a public company, right? So, again, the challenges with this remedy situation is, again, they're not going to just, make a date for brunch and get everything settled, one day. This is going to take some time. It's going to 1000% take some time to kind of get to this, this remedy or settlement. But best believe Ripple is in the driver's seat. It is not the SEC in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I hope you guys understand that. But Community shares something that I 1000% agree with. He says, true story. If you already know how to provide liquidity in an automated market maker before the XLS 30D goes live on the XRPL, you will have an advantage over everyone who does not know how to provide liquidity in an automated market maker before the XLS 30 goes live. Obviously, without question. This is why we at the Crypto Siege were all over the ecosystem, Ethereum and Phantom, and pick an ecosystem. What is it, Chronos? Pick one. We were providing liquidity. We were getting a hang of what that looks like, what that feels like, what does impermanent look like, what is reasonable returns, on your assets in a liquidity pool. What does that look like? Which ones work really well? Which ones don't? What does it look like to have the swap work correctly? What does the slippage tolerances look like? Good, bad, indifferent, right? Because we were there testing with small amounts, 50, 100, 200 bucks, small amounts, testing different ecosystems, testing different, the Uniswaps of the world, the pancake swaps of the world, anything in the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, testing, getting prepared for this moment, for the automated market maker on the XRPL, without question. Hugely big time advantage. That's why the outro is the outro. And it asks, are you participating? Because this whole idea of just holding on to some stuff on a ledger may be safe, but you will be very, very inept in the beginning. You're going to be very, very inept because you didn't take this idea or notion of a small percentage of your assets, 1%, 2%, 3%, or take the $50, $100 kind of way of doing things and test some stuff out. Got to test some stuff out, figure it out. What's going to work? What doesn't work? What does it mean once you provide liquidity and you got this LP token? What does it mean I can do some other stuff with it? What does that look like? Well, if you haven't done it, you don't notice. You can take a liquidity LP token, put it somewhere else, and you can even borrow against the freaking thing. In the digital asset space, you can borrow against valued LP tokens. Borrow against them. You can stake LP tokens and earn yield just from just staking the tokens. Right? And so it's hugely important to have been participating, especially during this long, extended bear market. I'm going to end which one do I want to end the video? Do I want to end it with that? I don't want to get into that drama. Some drama going on with the AMM and validators. I don't want to get into it. So this is, what is liquidity? Why is crypto liquidity important? This is from Ripple. This is from Brad Chase. Take a listen to him as I wrap up.
The only other thing I try to do in 1 minute is get my son to brush his teeth. Hi, my name is Brad Chase, and this is Crypto in a Minute. First of all, what is liquidity? Liquidity is the ability to buy or sell without impacting the price. So if you think about that another way, there's sufficient supply to meet the demand that's out there. So anyone building a business, trying to use and leverage crypto, is coming in with demand. And if there's insufficient liquidity or insufficient supply, you can't run your business or meet the needs that you're trying to accomplish.
Okay, I probably can't play that because there's music in the background, but you get the gist of it. Good stuff from Ripple as always. All right, guys, listen, this wraps up the XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope that it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you've been hanging out watching the Crypto Seeds or listening to the Crypto Seeds and haven't subscribed to the channel, if you enjoy the Hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya.